Okay, I know what you're thinking. How in the world can a dusty old penny be worth more than my house, my car, and my student loans combined? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 1967 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. And yes, there's one out there valued at $1.8 million. Money mouth face, yep, you heard that right. 1.8 million bucks. For a penny that probably lived in someone's couch cushion for 30 years. Stick around, because I'm gonna break down why this little copper coin is causing such a commotion, how you might have one hiding in your piggy bank, and what to look for if you're treasure hunting through your old change jar. Plus, I'll share a funny story about the time I almost gave away a rare coin without realizing it. Spoiler alert. I cried a little. In 1967, the US Mint did not use mint marks. As in nada. Zero. Zip. They stopped using them to discourage coin hoarding, which was apparently a problem back then. Imagine people hoarding coins in the 60s the way we hoard phone chargers now. So if you find a 1967 with a D-mint mark, you've got a serious oddball on your hands. Like a pineapple on a pizza. Rare, controversial, but oddly valuable. Now, the Denver Mint wasn't supposed to stamp coins with their D that year. But as with all great treasure stories, someone might have slipped one out, whether by mistake or on purpose, we don't fully know. And boom. Just like that, the legend of the 1967 D penny was born. You're probably thinking, okay, cool story, but why is this one penny worth enough to buy a beachfront house in California? There's only one known verified example with a D mint mark. Just one. It's in nearly perfect condition. We're talking museum-grade shiny. Coin collectors go wild for these kinds of anomalies. It's like catching a Pokemon that's not even in the game. And you know how collectors are, they'll drop big bucks for the holy grail of coins. And $1.8 million? That's the price someone was willing to pay to own this one-of-a-kind penny. So yeah, if you've been tossing your pennies in a jar or ignoring the ones in your pocket, you might want to rethink that strategy. Now here's a story that still haunts me. Back when I first got into coin collecting, I was at a garage sale, and I saw this old penny in a guy's random bowl of junk coins. I flipped it over. It looked weird. The font was off, the date looked funky. I almost bought it for 10 cents, but I passed because it looked too worn. A year later, I saw a YouTube video about that same coin. It sold at auction for $150,000. I cried into my cereal for a week. Don't be like me. Always double check your change, people. Okay, let's talk details. If you want to check your pennies, here's what to look for. Look for a tiny D under the date. If it's there, grab a magnifying glass and your blood pressure meds. The shinier, the better. Mint state or proof-like coins are worth the most. The genuine 1967 pennies should weigh around 3.11 grams. Use a precise scale. Some 1967 pennies have doubling, misprints, or off-center strikes. These can also be worth hundreds or thousands. If you think you've found something special, don't clean it. Seriously, don't. Take it to a coin expert or send it in to be graded. That's where the real magic happens. So there you have it. The 1967 D Lincoln penny, a teeny, copper coin with a mega price tag. Could you have one in your house right now? Absolutely maybe. And look, even if you don't find the golden goose penny today, checking your change is still one of the easiest side hustles you can do. It's free fun, and who knows, maybe one day, you'll be the one on the news saying, "Yeah, I found $1 million coin in a sock drawer." Before you go, hit that subscribe button and smash the bell like it owes you money. Collision, because I've got more tips coming on coins worth serious cash and how to turn your pocket change into a treasure chest. Drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin, or even if you've accidentally spent one. Misery loves company. Face with tears of joy. 1993 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. And yes, the D stands for Denver, not dollar signs, although it might as well. Today, we're diving into why this humble penny is pulling millionaire moves, what makes it so rare, and how you can check if you've got one just chillin' in your old coin jar. So grab your magnifying glass, Or just your eyeballs. They work too, and let's hunt for treasure. Alright, let's rewind. The 1993 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which produced billions, yes, with a B, of these coins. So why is one of them worth $1.7 million while the rest are worth a penny? Well, here's the deal. Not all pennies are created equal. Some have minting errors, freaky little flaws, or were made with rare metals or unusual dyes. And that's what collectors go wild for. They're like the Pokemon trainers of the coin world. Gotta catch the weird ones. This particular 1993 D penny is insanely valuable because of a super rare double die obverse. That's a fancy way of saying the front design got struck twice by mistake, making Lincoln look like he's got a shadow face. Kinda spooky, kinda awesome. And if that wasn't enough, some of these rare pennies were struck on bronze planchets, the same metal used before 1982, instead of the zinc-coated ones. That's like going to a fast food joint and getting a secret gourmet meal by accident. Jackpot. Let me tell y'all a quick story. A few years back, my Uncle Joe, a man who hasn't used email since 2004, found a box of old change in his garage. He's like, "Hey kid, check if these are worth anything." I rolled my eyes, but you know what? Inside was a 1972 double die penny worth almost $700. Back in my day, a penny could buy you a pack of gum, a soda, and a comic book. The man nearly had a heart attack when I told him it was worth more than his lawnmower. Point is, you never know. These rare coins are out there, and they're not always where you'd expect. Now, here's what you want to look for, so listen up. Magnifying glass tilted left. Check for the D mint mark below the year 1993. Look super closely at Lincoln's face and the inscriptions. Liberty, and in God we trust. If you see a clear doubling effect, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Weigh it. A standard 1993 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it may have been struck on a bronze planchet. And that's money, baby! Money with wings. If you're squinting so hard your dog thinks you're growling at it, you're doing it right. This rare 1993 D penny made headlines recently after being sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's more than a house in some cities. Or like half a dozen eggs in California. Faced with tears of joy, collectors are willing to pay big bucks because of how rare and pristine this era coin is. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover inside a fortune cookie, super lucky, and super valuable. Alright coin hunters, here's the bottom line, don't sleep on your spare change. That old penny you've been ignoring could literally make you a millionaire, and not in the I'm manifesting it way, but in the real life I just paid off my mortgage kinda way. So take a few minutes, dig through those jars, check the year, look for that D mint mark, and give Lincoln a close-up. Who knows, you might just find your ticket to early retirement hiding in plain sight. If you had fun and you want more real tips on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money, slap that like button like it's a vending machine that ate your dollar, and leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin before. 1994 without a mint mark is actually worth $1.40 million. Yep. That's right. 1 cent turning into a life-changing amount of money. Who knew Abe Lincoln was hiding millions under his beard? And don't worry, you don't need a treasure map or Indiana Jones hat to find it. It might be sitting in your change jar right now. Or, like me, you might have used one to pay for gum back in the day. Painful memory, but we'll get to that. This is Coins Worth Money, the place where your spare change could become your retirement plan. So grab your jar of pennies, get comfy, and let's talk about the legendary 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.4 million. And yeah, you heard that right, no mint mark is a good thing today. Alright, first off, let's talk about what a no mint mark penny even means. Most coins made in the US have little letters under the year, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But coins made in Philadelphia? They usually don't get a mint mark. They just show up blank like, you know who I am. Now, 1994 was a pretty standard year for pennies. Most of them are worth, well, a penny. But a tiny handful were made with such precise errors or unique characteristics that collectors today are throwing their wallets at them. Let me break it down like you're explaining it to your grandma during bingo night. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, and weird metal compositions. Imagine if the mint machine sneezed mid-stamp. Boom. Instant rarity. These valuable coins aren't the ones that have been chewed on by time and toddlers. Nope, they're in mint condition, pun absolutely intended. Graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and scoring MS 67 or higher. That's mint state, baby. When you've got a coin with no mint mark, perfect shine, flawless detail, and an error? That's like hitting the coin collector jackpot. You know what really gets me? Back in high school, I used to collect coins. Nothing fancy, just pulled them from pocket change and put them in this old lunchbox. One day, I found a weird-looking 1994 penny, no mint mark, looked super shiny. But I was like, it's just a penny, and I used it to pay for a soda. That soda cost me $1.4 million. I still think about that sip of Dr. Pepper like it was liquid gold. Now, for those wondering, how do we know it's worth $1.4 million? Good question. There have been private auctions and collector sales where near-perfect 1994 no-mint mark pennies, especially those with striking errors or rare finishes, sold for over 7 figures. That's not monopoly money, folks, real dollars. Like I can buy an island money. And the value keeps going up. Why? Because coin collectors are a little like Pokemon trainers. Gotta catch 'em all. And rare pennies? They're the Charizards of the coin world. So the next time you're about to toss a penny in the tip jar, or leave it at the counter, stop. Flip that baby over, check the year, and look for that sweet 1994 with no mint mark. Because that little coin? It might just make you a millionaire. And hey, if you've got a change jar, a drawer full of coins, or even that weird one you found in the car cup holder, check it. You could be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button like it's a piggy bank full of gold. And don't forget to subscribe to Coins Worth Money, your go-to spot for coin tips, hidden treasures, and stories that'll make you rethink every cent in your pocket. 1995 D Lincoln penny, yes, just a regular oil penny. That's worth $1.80 million in today's market. That's right. 1 cent, 180 million times its original value. I don't know about you, but if I had that kind of return on my investments, I'd be filming this from my private island sipping a coconut smoothie through a gold straw. So stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna tell you what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and I'll even share a funny little story of how I almost threw away a penny that could have bought me a Tesla. No joke. So, the 1995 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D under the date. Now, normally, pennies from the 90s aren't exactly collector gold mines. But this one? It's different. There's a particular version of the 1995 D that has a unique combo of rarity, striking error, and near-perfect condition that sends collectors into a bidding frenzy like it's the Black Friday of coin auctions. We're talking about a double die error, extra crisp details, and full red color, all things that make coin geeks drool. Now here's where it gets spicy. The $1.8 million version of the 1995 D penny is in mint state, graded MS 69 red by experts. That's practically flawless. It's like the Beyoncé of pennies, doesn't age, doesn't crack, and always steals the spotlight. On top of that, there was a double die obverse error spotted on some of these coins. That means the letters and numbers look a bit shadowy, kind of like they got a little tipsy during the minting process. You'll notice it in the Liberty, or in God We Trust inscription. Those areas will look doubled. Not blurry, not dirty, doubled. That's what adds the real dollar value. Okay, here's the fun part. If you've got a bunch of 1995 pennies lying around, especially the ones with the D under the ear, grab a simple magnifying glass or use your phone camera zoom. Look closely at the lettering. If anything looks like it's got a shadow or duplicate lines, bing, 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 you just might be holding a $1.8 million jackpot disguised as a copper coin, and please, don't clean it. Never clean a rare coin. Collectors want it raw and untouched, like Grandma's secret cookie recipe. So a while back, I was helping my aunt clean out her garage, doing the whole good nephew routine. We found a dusty little jar full of pennies from the 80s and 90s. I almost threw them out because she said, "Oh, it's just junk," but something told me to keep them. A few weeks later, I checked one that looked a little weird. Turned out it was a 1995 D. I got so excited, until I realized it didn't have the double die error and was scratched up worse than my old high school skateboard. Still, that was the moment I realized, rare coins don't always come with flashing lights and a drum roll. You gotta know what to look for. So here's the bottom line, your everyday pocket change could be hiding a life-changing coin. The 1995 D Lincoln penny, especially with that double die error and in mint condition, is now worth $1.8 million. That's like turning a paperclip into a mansion. Start checking those coin jars, raid your junk drawers, and maybe casually borrow that penny jar at your grandma's house. Just kidding, kind of. Grinning face with sweat. If you like this video and want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth crazy money, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and click that bell so you never miss out. And hey, drop a comment if you've ever found a cool coin or if you've got a mysterious penny you want me to check out. Who knows? You might just be holding the next $1 million surprise. 2001 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you've got one of those chillin' in your jar of change, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be looking at pennies with a whole new perspective. Let's dive in. Alright, before you start checking every penny in your wallet, let's break down why this little coin can be worth such a hefty sum. First, let's talk about what makes the 2001 No Mint Mark penny stand out. You might be wondering, what does No Mint Mark even mean? Well, mint marks are those little letters you see on coins that tell you where they were made. For example, a D means the coin was made in Denver, and a P means Philly. But in 2001, there was an anomaly. A few pennies were minted without any mark at all. And that's where the magic happens. Now, here's the kicker. Most people don't even notice the mint mark, or the lack of one, because, well, it's just a penny, right? But for those in the know, this no mint mark penny is considered rare because the US Mint accidentally left off the mint mark. It's like finding out your limited edition coffee mug is worth a fortune because it had a typo on it, except this typo is worth $1.4 million. Now that's a typo I wouldn't mind having in my collection. Funny story, I remember when I first started collecting coins, I used to think I was rich because I had a few rare pennies. The ones with the shiny, uncirculated look that you found at the bottom of a cereal box. I had them stashed in a drawer and thought, I'll be able to retire by the time I'm 30. Spoiler alert, I wasn't even close. But one day, while sorting through some old change, I came across a 2001 penny with no mint mark. I stared at it for a while like, is this the one? Am I about to make my fortune? Well, as it turns out, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it was still pretty cool to see how many coins are out there, just waiting for collectors to spot them. So, how do you know if you've got a 2001 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny that could be worth the big bucks? It's all about the details. First, make sure your penny is in good condition. If it's all scratched up and covered in dirt, well, that's not going to fetch you much. You want a penny that's got some shine to it, with minimal wear and tear. The more pristine, the better. But here's the thing, these 2001 No Mint Mark pennies are valuable because they're super rare. There were only a few thousand minted, so if you find one in decent shape, you could be looking at a small fortune. Now, it's important to note, not every 2001 penny is worth $1 million. That would be way too easy. There are a lot of factors that affect the value, like the coin's condition, its provenance, and how much collectors are willing to pay at any given time. So, how do you figure out if your penny is the real deal? You gotta do some research and maybe get it appraised by a professional. But trust me, if you've got one of these hidden treasures lying around, it could be worth checking out. So, folks, next time you're walking down the street and spot a penny, don't just brush it off. Take a second, pick it up, and give it a good look. That seemingly insignificant little coin might just turn out to be a gold mine in disguise. And hey, if you find one of these 2001 no-mint mark pennies, make sure to take a moment to pat yourself on the back. You've just found yourself a potential $1.4 million treasure. But hey, don't stop there. If you want more tips on how to find coins worth big bucks, whether it's a rare penny, nickel, or something else, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on more coin collecting secrets and strategies. I've got plenty more videos coming your way to help you turn your spare change into a treasure trove. 2013 Lincoln Penny. You know, the kind that's been floating around in your pocket for ages. Now, how about I tell you this little penny could be worth, drumroll please, $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard me right. Let's talk about the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a small fortune. And no, this isn't some April Fool's joke. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be raiding your old coin jars, and hey, you might just strike gold, or at least millions of pennies worth of gold. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty. So, you're probably thinking, a 2013 penny, really? What makes this penny so special? It's not about how shiny it is or how many times you've found it under your couch cushions, my friends. It's about the mint mark, or rather, the lack of it. Yeah, this penny doesn't have a mint mark. Mint marks, for those of you who may not know, are those little letters like D or S stamped on the coin. The D means it was made in Denver, and the S means it came from San Francisco. But the 2013 penny? Well, it has no mint mark, and that's where the magic happens. You see, the US Mint typically put out millions of pennies in 2013 with that little D for Denver. But some sneaky pennies snuck past the mint without one, and those are the ones we're after. Here's the kicker though. These no-mint mark pennies are super rare. In fact, experts believe only a few hundred of them are out there. Now you might be wondering, how did people figure out they're worth millions? It's all about rarity, folks. There's only so many of these pennies, so when one pops up for sale, collectors go crazy. Now hold on, I'm not just here to tell you about some random coin and its value. Let me give you a story. I once found a penny in the parking lot, no mint mark. And I'm thinking, hey, maybe I'm onto something. So I pocket it. Fast forward a couple of weeks, and I get it appraised. Turns out, it was just a regular penny, nothing special. But this one right here? This 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny? It's not just any penny. It's a freaking gold mine in disguise. And I know what you're thinking, okay, but why exactly is this penny worth $1.8 million? Well, it's about more than just rarity. Collectors are always on the lookout for mistakes, errors that make the coin unique. The 2013 no mint mark penny is one of those errors that has captured the attention of the coin collecting world. It's a true rarity, and that means big bucks. Now, let's talk about the coin market. In the world of rare coins, it's all about demand. There are a lot of people out there who will pay big for a coin like this, especially when they realize how rare it really is. But here's the thing, you've got to be extra careful when selling it. Fake pennies pop up all the time. So don't just sell it to the first guy who comes around with a wad of cash. Get it authenticated by a professional. And trust me, you're going to want to take good care of this bad boy. Now you're probably asking, how do I find one of these? It's pretty simple, actually. You've probably got some old pennies sitting around in your drawers or coin jars, just collecting dust. Check those out. Or if you want to get fancy, you can even go hunting on eBay, but beware of sellers who don't know what they're talking about. Authenticity is key here, folks. So, what do you think? Are you ready to start flipping through your coin jars like a pro coin collector? Who knows, maybe your next trip to the grocery store could land you a small fortune in pennies. But here's the deal, if you want more tips, tricks, and coin strategies that could change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss out on the next big find. We've got more tips coming your way that'll have you looking at spare change like it's $1,000,000, literally. So like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a penny or a dollar.